had no idea when we left here on Friday, and Chris, wherever you were on Friday in Kansas City, had no idea we would be coming on the air and welcoming the new third-string quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Trey Lance.
Hey.
What do you think, T.J. Jefferson? Trey Lance is in the mix.
He'll make a nice third stringer.
That's exactly what he's going to be.
You think so?
That's exactly what he's going to be.
You think so? What, you think he's in contention to be the starter?
This year, this is exactly what he's going to be. Now then, your guess is as good as mine on why Jerry Jones pulled the trigger on this. He and the Dallas Cowboys did what 31 other teams did, or 30 other teams did, because the 49ers were clearly one of the teams as well. They did an evaluation on Trey Lance. They liked the kid. They saw what happened in San Francisco. They know he has raw ability, and they went ahead and flipped a fourth-round selection for a guy that was worth 2 first-rounders years ago. You hear that all the time, that the Niners gave up 3 first-rounders. They got 1 in return. So it was 2 extra first-rounders that they flipped for Trey Lance. And now you can get that guy evaluated as such by the 49ers for a 4th-round selection, and he went ahead and did it. And, again, anybody who's out there saying that Trey Lance is going to force the issue on Dak Prescott or is going to give some sort of pressure on Dak Prescott and is going to push Dak Prescott, you don't like Dak Prescott. That's it. You are giving up the ghost. You are showing your hand when it comes to Dak Prescott. Because, again, if Trey Lance did not beat out Sam Darnold, new to the system in San Francisco, and did not beat out Brock Purdy, he's not beating out Dak Prescott. And he sure isn't going to be beating out Cooper Rush, in my mind, either. Because if Dak Prescott, heaven forbid, I'm not speaking this into existence, T.J. Jefferson.
Well, you shouldn't, because you haven't won your fantasy team.
I know that. But heaven forbid, something happens on Sunday Night Football week 1. Something happens a week from Sunday night, 2 weeks from last night, and he has to come out of the game. You know who's not going to the game? Trey Lance. He's not going to the game. Cooper Rush is going to the game. Cooper Rush went 4-1 last year. Cooper Rush may be the best backup quarterback in the NFL, with all due respect to Sam Darnold. He's the guy that kept the Dallas Cowboys ship afloat. He's the reason why they made the playoffs last year, because if they had gone 0-5 in his 4-1 start, you can finish the sentence. So if you're sitting here thinking Trey Lance is pushing Dak Prescott out of the first spot on the depth chart, you are saying, I don't like Dak Prescott, without saying the words, I don't like Dak Prescott. So, why did he make this move? Jerry Jones, again, evaluated Trey Lance back in the day, 2 years ago, liked him. They saw him. He said that they made the move immediately. All reporting is that 5th and 6th round picks were being offered to the 49ers for Trey Lance, and the Cowboys were the only ones saying, I'll give you a 4th. Sold. And that's what you do in the NFL, is you collect quarterbacks in your quarterback's room, because all you need to see is last year, the 3rd-string quarterback got into the game for the San Francisco 49ers and needed to carry the season for a Super Bowl hopeful team, and he damn near took him to the Super Bowl before his arm gave out. So Jerry was asked point blank, is this a reflection on Dak? Is what he had to say.
Didn't cross my mind, period, about an impact here regarding Dak. I know that Dak wants to do anything we can do to improve this team, and we're going to do it. The facts are that the decision to bring in as high a quality of talent as we could, that's evolving, or a young talent that is basically gaining, improving, getting better, that you would be as a young talent. That's something that we've been trying to do, but it's just never, the opportunity seems to be there so often But we've been trying to do what we did today with this trade almost every draft since I've been drafting. So,
point blank, this has nothing to do with Dak in 2023. But what about 2024? He's got one more year left on his deal. And even though Stephen Jones has been talking about nonstop when the subject matter has been raised since the end of last year that they know Dak is on the hook for $50+ million on the cap next year, and anything that needs to be done for cap relief will come in the form, or the idea to get cap relief is going to come in the form of a contract extension for a guy who's 30. Well, that may be a different story in people's minds. Dak Prescott, after calling the plays, by the way, in the final preseason game, in which the kid that's probably going to lose his job today, unless it's already happened. Has Will Grier been released by the Dallas Cowboys yet?
Good question.
Well, Dak calling the plays. Grier went 29 of 35 playing the entire game at quarterback for Dallas in the final preseason game with 2 touchdowns. After taking off the headsets, Dak was asked about all this.
Obviously, I understand it's a business. That's a first-round talent, and you're always trying to make your team better. But that was the front office, so we're going to welcome him as we do any teammate, and hopefully he makes us better, and then we're going to continue to get back at it and know we've got one goal as a team.
Back to the trade, surprise you at all?
To be honest with you, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. You've been in this league 8 years, been on this team. It's hard to say that I was surprised, to be honest with you.
There was some speculation that this move would somehow strengthen the Cowboys' negotiating position with you when it comes to contract talks. Do you feel that it does?
I believe that talks, and those talks in the office where business is handled. So, that'll come a time when that happens, and so...
Hit it, man.
What were they really thinking?
This is what Dak Prescott wants to tell everybody. Jerry Jones, I know who this man is. You know what? He sits there and he says he didn't think about the impact on me this season. This is the impact on me this season. A lot of diamonds, if you think there's pressure. And then on top of that, no impact on me. Here's the impact. You asking me these dumbass questions about a guy who couldn't beat out 2 other quarterbacks in San Francisco. A guy that had 3 first-rounders, if people are reporting that 3 first-rounders were swapped, being acquired here for a 4th. That guy's going to beat me out? Okay. And then on top of it, this is going to be some sort of hammer held in the Joneses' hand on top of me for a negotiation? Daniel Jones just got $40 million. What do you think? I'm just going to be sitting around my house looking for change in the couch cushion, waiting for someone to knock on my door to make me an offer to play quarterback in the NFL? Fine. Show me the door. You go with Trey Lance. Jerry? Honestly, everybody's asking me about what about negotiations. That's the issue here. And this is what, and he's right, part and parcel of working for the Dallas Cowboys and working for Jerry Jones is you got to have your head on a swivel. He's going to do whatever he thinks is best, and it may make your life difficult. Did you hear, TJ, did you hear Mike McCarthy was not included in this conversation? He was not.
I did not hear that.
He said when it came to Will Grier, the quote he says is, he spoke to Will about, hey, keep your head up. We're going to still play you in the final preseason game. He said he told him that when he got the call, that Dak and Cooper Rush have a new quarterback mate in their room in Trey Lance. So everybody's got to have their head on a swivel because Jerry and Steven and the rest of that group that you saw is, by the way, quite collaborative in the draft room, as you saw on the documentary that's still right here on the Roku channel, NFL Draft The Pick Is In, that debuted last Friday. This is the way it goes. Hey, we want to add this kid because we think if we get down to the 3rd quarterback, he's better than Will Grier. Way it goes. Hey, you're the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and 2 weeks before the season, we're giving you a very high-profile new kid in the quarterback room. Way it goes. We like this kid so much, and we know because we're the Dallas friggin' Cowboys that everybody's going to be talking about the quarterback no matter what? We're going to add this high-profile kid to the room, and everybody's going to go up to Dak Prescott and saying, are you nervous? Way it goes. That's what it takes to wear the star on the side of your helmet. You got to have a thick skin and quite the fortitude in the gut.
Same for being a fan of the Cowboys.
Well, I hear you, but, you know, Greer lit up the final preseason game. I know he did, and it's kind of shame that he's going to lose his job to Trey Lance, although I think he's going to have a job real quick because Nate Sudfeld blew out his knee for the Lions in their final preseason game.
I didn't see
and
that.
And the reason why it might not be released yet is if I'm Dallas, I'm like, we'll take 4 quarterbacks into the season unless somebody wants to
throw me a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, I know. I just gave up a 4.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk.
Especially the way
Detroit, you're kind of desperate maybe for a backup.
Right.
Did you see what this kid just did? But Trey Lance, you know what a big fan I am of him. We are of his personality. And, man, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. And I know you wanted reps, but I don't know when the hell he's going to be getting reps here.
Maybe some goal line packages, they could work something up, but...
But that's Dak's territory.
You don't even want
I'm
to
just
flirt
thinking.
with that.
You're going to take out – how would you feel against – name anybody, because every game's a crucible for the Dallas Cowboys. Inside the 3. Let's bring in Trey Lance. Dak comes out and trade.
Ooh, nope.
Well, if it's a running play and I don't want Dak to get plastered, then I might stick Trey in there to switch it up. I'm sure he's going to feel like Chris Leak felt when Tim Tebow would come in for those Florida Gators back in the day.
I think you should run multiple Trey Lance packages a day so Dak gets so mad he forces his way to New England in 2025.
We'll give you Trey if you want him.
That's, again, my point. Like,
Settle
hey,
down
man,
just a little bit.
Hey, man, so do you think this is going to be a negotiating sticking point? When the Joneses are like, hey, we got Trey Lance in that room. And Dak's like, what do I got to do around here?
Right?
What do I have to do around here?
Yeah.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.